The kind of liberalism espoused here by Marlowe/Conrad touched all the best minds of the age in England, Europe, and America. It took different forms in the minds of different people, but almost always managed to sidestep the ultimate question of equality between white and black people. That extraordinary missionary, Albert Schweitzer, who sacrificed brilliant careers in music and theology in Europe for a life of service to Africans, in much the same area as Conrad writes about, epitomizes the ambivalence. In a comment which has often been quoted, Schweitzer says, "The African is indeed my brother, but my junior brother," end quote. And so he proceeded to build a hospital appropriate to the needs of junior brothers, with standards of hygiene reminiscent of medical practice in the days before the germ theory of disease came into being. Naturally, he became a sensation in Europe and America. Pilgrims flocked, and I believe still flock even after he has passed on, to witness the prodigious miracle in Lambarene, on the edge of the primeval forest. Conrad's liberalism would not take him quite as far as Schweitzer's, though. He would not use the word brother, however qualified. The farthest he would go was kinship. When Marlowe's African helmsman falls down with a spear in his heart, he gives his white master one final disquieting look. And the intimate profundity of that look he gave me when he received his hurt remains to this day in my memory, like a claim of distant kinship affirmed in a supreme moment. It is important to note that Conrad, careful as ever with his words, is concerned not so much about distant kinship as about someone laying a claim on it. The black man lays a claim on the white man which is well nigh intolerable. It is the laying of this claim which frightens and at the same time fascinates Conrad. End quote. Beginning of quote. The thought of their humanity, like yours, ugly. End quote. The point of my observation should be quite clear by now, namely that Joseph Conrad was a thoroughgoing racist. That this simple truth is glossed over in criticisms of his work is due to the fact that white racism against Africa is such a normal way of thinking that its manifestations go completely unremarked. Students of Heart of Darkness will often tell you that Conrad is concerned not so much with Africa as with the deterioration of one European mind caused by solitude and sickness. They will point out to you that Conrad is, if anything, less charitable to the European in the story than he is to the natives, that the point of the story is to ridicule Europeans' civilizing mission in Africa. A Conrad student informed me in Scotland that Africa is merely a setting for the disintegration of the mind of Mr. Kurtz, which is partly the point. Africa is as a setting and backdrop which eliminates the African as human factor. Africa as a metaphysical battlefield devoid of all recognizable humanity, into which the wandering European enters at his peril. Can nobody see the preposterous and perverse arrogance in thus reducing Africa to the role of props for the breakup of one petty European mind? But that is not even the point. The real question is the dehumanization of Africa and Africans, which this long attitude has fostered, which this age-long attitude has fostered and continues to foster in the world. And the question is whether a novel which celebrates this dehumanization, which depersonalizes a portion of the human race, can be called a great work of art. My answer is no, it cannot. I do not doubt Conrad's great talents. Even Heart of Darkness has its memorably good passages and moments.